Hello, angel babies. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Trisha, and this is Trisha's Temple. Thanks for being here. How are you doing today? Where I am, it's a little bit gloomy. It's a perfect day for introspection and asking the cards for some insights. Yesterday, I did a reading for myself, and I felt like the messages were applicable to this collective, so I thought I would share the cards that I pulled and a little bit about what came up and some new insights that come through today. So the first question, or like the premise of this reading that I did for myself, was around a very particular dream, idea, something that I've wanted for a very, very long time. And now that thing is coming into being. It's actually happening. But I'm feeling some resistance to it. I'm feeling some fear around it. And I wanted to understand a little bit why that was happening. Why am I feeling afraid of something that I've wanted for such a long time? So if you are in a situation where you're kind of at this precipice of things that you have been wanting for a long time, you've had a vision, you've had a plan, you've been working towards this, and now it's actually coming into being. It's more tangible, it's real, and you're meeting up against some resistance. This reading is for you. The card that I pulled first was this card, the Devil, and I feel like this was absolutely perfect. If you notice, the Devil is carrying this bird in a cage. So perhaps you are feeling kind of caged in or trapped, or that's the fear associated with this moving forward, which can feel a little bit counterintuitive. Like, wait, this dream is allowing me to move towards the things that I want, expand, grow my life. But instead you're feeling like it might restrict you or trap you, keep you chained to one version of yourself. So let's say it is a new job and you've wanted this for a long time. But if you are to fully commit to that thing, then it might feel like, oh, but I'm locked into that particular path now. Or if it were a relationship, same thing, like you're committing to that relationship. Like you've wanted this romantic connection or you've wanted this friendship, but now there's almost this level of pressure to make it work. I think that there are also some subconscious wounds from the past that are like, is it going to play out the same way that it did before? Are people going to treat me or mistreat me the way that they did before? Am I going to become burnt out in the ways that I did before? Not have the physical, mental, emotional resources that I need to be able to make this happen. And so then the next question that I asked was, what is the resistance, or like how can I meet that feeling, move towards it with love and compassion? How should I approach this? And I pulled the High Priestess in reverse and the Five of Wands. And usually I don't read reversals, but for whatever reason in this context it felt right. The High Priestess in reverse and the Five of Wands felt like there is some inner turmoil, some inner conflict. These two rams, I think they are like butting up heads against each other. And so you might have some of that within you of, I want it. No, I'm not ready. The past versus the future, kind of like, duking it out. And usually the High Priestess is a card of subconscious, feminine, very intuitive connection to your inner world. So in reverse, you could see it as disconnection from your inner world. But in this context, I felt like a better read was to slow down or to approach this conflict, this resistance, with more softness, more gentleness, to allow myself, to allow yourself to have all the feelings that are coming up, to be afraid, to be excited, to be overwhelmed, and to just kind of almost sit there as a gentle observer, as you don't have to come out of you don't have to remove yourself from off the throne. You can just be there, observing, allowing, softly communicating with your inner world, not forcing yourself to go deeper and understand everything, but allowing it to unfold more naturally. So then I wanted to understand a little bit more about what specifically this conflict is and how to approach it, or just like allow it to unfold naturally. And I pulled these three cards. First, the Page of Wands, then the Awakening, which corresponds to Judgment, and then last, the King of Cups. So all of these together, it feels like you really do want whatever this is. This promotion, this new relationship, this new house, this new car, like whatever it is that's somehow going to be an opportunity for creative expansion and awakening in your life. Maybe it's even a learning opportunity of some sort. So school or therapy or some sort of program where you're going to learn more about yourself or gain more creative skill. And the conflicting feeling is this like desire for emotional regulation. The King of Cups sits very confidently on the throne of emotional regulation. He sees the ups and downs of the tide and isn't pulled in to everything that comes his way. He can observe and decide, okay, I'm now ready to enter this world of emotions over here and sort things out. Or you know what? I'm just going to let that tide pass. So I think that the conflict is really about you acknowledging this desire for creativity and expansion, as well as a desire for regulation and taking things at your own pace, and not wanting to feel a bunch of pressure on yourself for it to go in any particular way. Like if it happens that you start this job and you're not immediately good at it, that will be okay. Or if you move into a new house and there happen to be things that come up, that you'll be able to handle them. You can trust yourself with that. And I just saw 1111, and I picture 1111 as like this portal that you're entering. So I think that you are entering the portal. You're entering through the gate. But you're doing it on your own terms. The next question I had was more specific to my scenario, but I will apply it a little bit more generally. And the question will be, in this specific situation that you are in, how should you approach it? And what should you expect out of it? And this could be not just like the whole thing, but like one particular, like let's say you needed to have a conversation with somebody and that was kind of the next step in your process. Or you needed to submit a project and that was the next phase in your process. You know, like whatever the next bigger hurdle is that you need to jump in order to move yourself towards this thing that you really want, you can see a lot further down the line, perhaps, than you maybe wish you could sometimes. But right now you're pulling yourself back and looking at just what is this next hurdle that I'm jumping and how is it going to go? How should I approach it? So this is the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups in reverse. So this to me says that you are going to experience a moment of returning to a little bit of, I'm open to feedback. I'm open to things going in a few different directions. I'm not like fixated on it having to be one precise way, but I'm also grounded in the things that I need, and I like my boundaries to feel safe and secure. And I'm taking notes. I am collecting the data while I move towards this next thing. maybe not. I thought that there was somebody outside. Then the Seven of Cups feels like all of the possibilities of what could go wrong, other things that, like, let's say you had a roster of people you were dating and you realize, like, no, like, I really have a strong connection with this one person and I really want to move towards this relationship. It's letting go of the other possibilities, the other what ifs, the closing out the other doors so that you can fully choose the one that's for you, the one that you choose. Because there isn't just like, oh yeah, like if I don't choose this, then I'm choosing wrong and my life isn't going to be the way that it's supposed to be. You are writing the script, so you get to choose based on your values and your vision for the life that you want to have. And you're starting to solidify that decision so that it doesn't feel like you just have all of this stuff swirling around you. You're choosing your clear path. You're clearing the path. And the next question I asked was even honing in on that a little bit more for a little more clearly. And my particular situation was a conversation. So I wanted to know how I should approach this conversation. And I pulled Temperance and the Chariot in reverse, which I just thought was absolutely hilarious. Temperance, yes, of course, like balance and regulation, like we've been talking about. And the Chariot in reverse also feels like a continuation of this flow of energy, of taking it at your own pace, not needing to demand all of the answers be resolved in one conversation or in one moment, that you are getting specific on what it is that you need and what it is that you want, and you'll hold on to that vision and continue to clarify it. And if you're having a conversation with somebody or if you're working on a project, it doesn't need to be a all or nothing type of a feeling. And that's what this energy feels like, is I'm having this opportunity to present my desire, my request, my proposition to this person, to these people, to this company. And now, like, I'm just kind of laying it in their court to see what happens. I then pulled a card from my Solitary Witch Oracle as kind of a clarification and general understanding of all of this energy, and I pulled a magical manifestation, and I want to read what it says to you because I felt like it was perfect. It's number 21, which may be significant to you either as a year or an age, just the number in general, or 2-1 adding up to 3. Okay, magical manifestation. The witch made 3 wishes not so long ago. 3 spells charged the energy of the wishes, and 3 times she wove the energy with timing and cycles. She gathered stone and feather and herb and flower, lit candles and scattered salt, until she felt the world singing the spells into a pattern that would take form. 3 wishes are yours now too. 3 great desires, 3 great possibilities. What will you choose to create? And when you do, how much momentum will you bring to the process? Will you let the world do as it will and let the strands of energy flow past you? Even though they ask to be caught and woven into the shapes you wish to make, what will you do, solitary witch? For manifestation, true magical manifestation, is not the repeating of some words and nothing more. You will need the things of earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, your body, your mind, your emotions, and your passion and soul to be focused on the one direction 3 times and acting in accord with your will. You will have this great opportunity now to use the magical power of 3 to create what you will. Let it be done with love. Let it be done with commitment. Let it be done with intelligence. Let it be done with intensity. Let the soul guide all that you are into the creation of these 3 magical wishes, all of which can come true, but only if you act on your desires with magic for the highest good of all. Meaning, 3, a magical number, the power of 3, 3 opportunities for positive change in your life. 3 dreams could come true, the essential magic of every element working with you, working without grand announcements or proclamations, dedication to correct timing and ingredients, being both grounded and inspired. Reversed, casting and crafting but not following through, talking about your magic yet not actually working your magic, the leaving out of key magical ingredients, believing that intent and thought are all that matter, the weaving of all aspects of self together, sharing the unified vision with the whole of yourself and soul. So for a long time, you have been gathering all of your ingredients. You have been practicing your magic and learning what works for you and what doesn't. You have been determining what your values are and what direction you would like your life to take. And now that things are starting to really take shape, you might feel like there is some missing ingredient. So the next question that I asked was, what missing ingredient? What are potential missing ingredients? What blind spots do I have? In what way could I more fully move my energy towards this goal, this dream? And I pulled the Wheel of Fortune, the 3 of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles in reversed. This to me says that you have put in the work. You have sown your seeds, and now it's time to reap the harvest. That there are external forces that are bigger than you and no longer in your control or your responsibility. That, like we said earlier, because you've laid the groundwork, you are able to move towards this dream of yours. And the fates, the powers that be, the interconnectedness of humanity, your magical essence has been heard. And now people are coming together to support you and create this community, to create this vision that you have for yourself. And it doesn't have to be some big grand thing. It could be something like people giving you compliments, or giving you a ride somewhere. It could be a mentor who has a little bit more experience in whatever it is that you are starting, and they're able to come and give you just the insights that you need to continue on your path. This Three of Cups really feels like a celebration too of how things have been working out all along the way. A point of reflection where you're seeing the ways that you have been manifesting this dream for a long time. Could be since you were a child, could be for years. And now it's coming into fruition, into reality. That you don't have to wonder if you're missing something anymore. You already laid the groundwork, and now it's a matter of just following that momentum onto the next phase. And you already have the practice of setting boundaries, of knowing when you are going too fast, or when you are needing a moment to reflect and collect your thoughts. You already know when something is for you and when something isn't. There may still be a little bit of that inner turmoil and all of the different emotions kind of coming up to the surface, but you are also able to meet that with love and allowance and awareness. That it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be messy, because all of this is new and exciting and overwhelming and scary and feels a bit out of your control. I think that this journey that you have been on warrants a moment of celebration, and it's okay for you to feel proud of yourself, feel excited, even if you feel like, oh no, like what if it doesn't work out? What if it doesn't happen? You made it this far, and that's worth celebrating too. You can celebrate all of the little milestones along the way. Thanks for being here. Love you. Bye.